Everybody, let's start right away with the news today. Over 100 dead dolphins have been found in Lake Teff in the Brazilian Amazon. According to experts, the death of animals led to a record drought and heating of water up to 39 degrees Celsius. Teams of researchers and volunteers were sent to the scene of the tragedy to rescue the remaining individuals that are still alive. They are supposed to be transported from the marginal ponds and lagoons to the main section of the Amazon, which is much cooler. Unfortunately, experts are predicting even more severe droughts in the region over the next 14 days. Taiwan is preparing for the arrival of Typhoon Kainu, which will bring heavy rains and strong winds to the southern and eastern parts of the island. So far, Typhoon Kainu has been given a Category 3 power rating by meteorologists, but is expected to weaken to Category 2 as it approaches the island. The most intense rainfall is forecast in mountainous and sparsely populated areas of Penn County in the south and east, as well as Tain and Hualien counties. Some flights and ferries to remote Taiwanese islands have been canceled due to the increased winds. After passing Taiwan, the typhoon is forecast to move into southern China, where it is likely to weaken to a tropical storm. China's Zhejiang River is not only a natural border between Anhui and Nanxi provinces, but also an important transportation artery in China, attracting the world's attention due to a unique natural phenomenon, a tidal wave called bore. This phenomenon occurs in the narrow mouths of the river during high tide, when huge masses of water gather and create a powerful shock wave. Bore on the Sichuan River is known for its stunning wave height, which often reaches an impressive 9 meters, and its speed can reach about 40 kilometers per hour. This natural phenomenon has become a real attraction and attracts thousands of tourists who gather on the banks of the Zhejiang River in Hain to admire the magnificent spectacle. However, despite the impressive beauty and magic of bore, it should be remembered that this natural phenomenon can also be dangerous. In some cases, the wave is extremely strong and can cause serious damage and even threaten lives. Heavy rains in the Indian state of Maharashtra have caused flooding in low-lying areas in both cities and villages. National disaster response forces have been mobilized in those areas that have suffered the worst losses from the weather. According to information from the State Emergency Operations Center, there have been several rain-related incidents in the past 2 days, and 9 people have died as a result of these incidents. In 24 hours alone, some areas received about 300 millimeters of rainfall. More than 1,000 people have lost their lives in the worst outbreak of dengue fever in Bangladesh's history. The number of people infected has surpassed the 208,000 mark, according to CNN. The prolonged monsoon season, with intense heat and sporadic but heavy rainfall, created ideal breeding conditions for the Aedes mosquito, the main vector of the disease. Hospitals in Bangladesh have faced a shortage of beds and staff to care for the sick. Experts have raised fears that the peak of the disease is still to come and that the situation could continue into October-November. Indonesia's Semeru volcano, the highest volcano on the densely populated island of Java, has begun erupting. A video published online captured the moment the volcano ejected a column of glowing ash. This is not the first time Semeru has become active. The previous eruption was recorded in June 2023. Tropical storm Philippe hit Guadeloupe hard with wind gusts, bringing heavy rain and causing flooding. In Turkey, heavy downpour began on Monday and continued throughout the night, severely affecting the Istanbul region. Under the impact of this bad weather, the transportation system has been working with disruptions, and airports in the Turkish capital have faced flight delays and cancellations. Similar problems have also occurred in Antalya, Erzurum, and other cities. The schedule changes mainly affect domestic flights, although international transportation has not been spared from the impact of the bad weather. Local services warn that weather forecasts remain disappointing at the moment and the situation may worsen. The downpour came to western Turkey after rainfall levels reached record highs. In addition, the region also recorded several tornadoes in the Gulf of Alexandria. October 2023 has brought unpredictable and challenging weather, and locals and Turkish authorities are urging caution and vigilance during this period. Residents of the Greek island of Evia are gradually recovering from the severe flooding caused by the passage of Cyclone Ellis. This natural disaster was accompanied by powerful downpours that turned the streets of the island into real rivers. Many buildings were flooded and damaged, and dozens of kilometers of roads were washed away under the pressure of water. The intensity of the rain was so high that the water level in the streets rose several meters in just a few hours. More than 3,000 residents were forced to be evacuated, and they admit that such a rampant disaster has not been seen on the island for a long time. Dozens of rescuers and emergency workers have been deployed to deal with the aftermath of the flooding, actively pumping water out of flooded buildings and providing aid to victims. The explosion near the British city of Oxford was caused by lightning, and it happened at a food waste processing plant. The explosion affected the gas that is produced when garbage decomposes and created a huge fireball. Shortly after the explosion, a massive fire broke out, glowing brightly with a blaze visible from a considerable distance. The fire caused communication problems in some areas and also led to a power outage for several hours. Authorities decided to close the highway leading to the plant. There is no information on casualties, according to a statement from the business where the incident occurred. Friends, of all the news in this issue, which one impressed you the most? Do you sympathize with the ordinary people affected by the disasters, or for some reason is it hard for you to empathize right now? Please share your views in the comments. May peace and goodness be with you and your families, and remember that we must always take care of our common home, our planet, always keeping our humanity capitalized.